Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. Today we're seeing the everything bubble popping over here. Hopefully you guys are have a plan here to ride the market out, or maybe you're already shorting the market. But right now it seems to be best to be in cash right now. And I sold some of my crypto yesterday. Not like that I wanted to, but my stop losses got hit on some of my spot crypto bags. And yeah, I'm in cash right now because of that. I still have some crypto, not totally in cash, but seems that might be the safer play to be in right now while the markets are diving down. And it's not just crypto, it's also the stock market, gold and silver. We're having like a liquidity crisis all around the world right now. Gold and silver's down, oil's down, Bitcoin's down, stocks are down. Everybody's going into cash right now. Cash is king at this moment. And we're gonna start by looking at the price of Bitcoin first, and then we'll look at USDT dominance, and we'll look at Bitcoin dominance as well. But yeah, let's get started here. We're gonna look at the price of Bitcoin, currently trading at 101,300. It's slicing through a very important level here, which is the 103 to 105k area. We sliced right through that this morning here, and we don't really have that much support below us. If you look at the VRVP, this is the VRVP indicator here. The green and red bars off to the right. You got your high volume nodes here, high volume nodes. The highest volume node is that POC, that blue line right there, and we're below that as well. This is taking data all the way going back to like April and May of this year. And what we got going on here, let me just adjust the camera here. What we got going on here is there's not much volume at like 100k or 99k. We're in like kind of like no man's territory. There's a little bit more volume here at like 94, 95k. I think there might even be some here at like 97k. So maybe 97k is going to be the next stop for Bitcoin, the way things are going here. So I think we're finally losing the 100k. I mean, we'll see. It's probably going to happen later on today, but we might actually dip below 100k here on Bitcoin. As sad as that might be to say, hopefully you guys are able to sell some of your Bitcoin and crypto at higher prices. You know, I was getting worried when we were flirting with the 200-day moving average here, this red line right here. We were flirting with it, then we broke it yesterday and closed below it yesterday, and now here we are, definitely in a more convincing fashion. We're definitely breaking that 200-day moving average. So 200-day moving average not acting as support anymore. Things are very bearish right now in cryptocurrency world. We are making lower highs, and now we officially making lower lows. We're lower than the price was at on October 17th after we had the scare with the 100% tariffs, and not knowing what's going to happen with trade deals. Even trade deals, we got a trade deal with China. We had lower interest rates, and that's still not doing anything to this market. I think a lot of people got caught off guard. A lot of people thought October was going to be our saving grace. A lot of people thought November was going to be the month where, you know, crypto has its best month in November, and we're finding out for sure that, you know, statistically speaking, that doesn't always happen to be the case. Okay, we're getting Bitcoin going down to 100k right now as I'm speaking. We're at $100,800 Bitcoin right now, and like I said, I think the support level to look for right now is going to be 97k and 94k, which is where people were buying and selling Bitcoin at around the end of April, beginning of May. These people are still in profit right now because they bought Bitcoin at like 93, 94, 95, 90, in the 90s, okay, in the 90,000 area, okay. They're not going to click the sell button until we go below 93k, okay. But I think anywhere between 93 to 97k is where we're going to be going next for Bitcoin if we lose 100k Bitcoin. If we lose, well, we lost 103k, so I'm already worried right now. But Now that we're at $101,000 Bitcoin, there's not much stopping us from going down into the 90s now. Hulk Smash is in the chat, and I see Lorene is in the chat as well on YouTube. You guys, Hulk Smash says 94,300 wouldn't surprise you. Hulk Smash, I'm curious why that exact specific number. Is there anything on your charts that you're looking at? Is there like a CME gap or anything that you're looking at that says 94,300? As I start to zoom out, I'll pull up that VRVP indicator one more time. And I'll just zoom out to like all of like 2025 here, see what the VRVP has to say now. Okay, as it gathers all that data. And when I put on the VRVP indicator here, with data going all the way back to like November of 2024, we have a POC, the highest volume node, is sitting at 95K. 95K is where the majority of people bought Bitcoin over the past year. That blue line right there. And I think 95K is the number to be looking out for. You drew a Fibonacci from April low to the all-time high. Okay, let's try doing that on the chart, see what that looks like here. Let me get rid of the VRVP for now. And you said you did April low to all-time high. Alright, let's try doing that, see what happens. So from the April low, where Bitcoin was at like what? $74,000. Okay, so like right over here, I believe, yeah, $74,000 to the all-time high of like 126,200, I believe was the number. And you said you have a number here, 94,300. I'm coming up with 94,500, but you know, that's close enough here. I see that number that you're looking for here, 94,500. And that's confluent with what people were buying Bitcoin at here in April. So like I said, I think, you know, the confluence between this 618 number that you've picked out here and also the amount of people that were buying and selling Bitcoin in beginning of May, end of April, I think this might be our saving grace if Bitcoin is going to continue going down. If we lose that $100,000 psychological number, I think 94,000, 95,000 is coming up on deck here. Let me go into the chat here on TikTok, see what you guys are saying here on TikTok. Andre Marilla says, what's the name of that indicator? The name of the indicator that I was using earlier was the VRVP indicator. I actually have a video of that on TikTok. You can look at that. It's pinned on the top of my page for the Meet Damien channel. You can look up the VRVP indicator. It's like a 14-minute video. It's like how I use the VRVP indicator, how I set it up, and then how I use it to trade using the VRVP indicator. Alright, and I think that's it as far as like the chat goes here. I see Lorene's also in the TikTok chat here as well. Alright, and I'm just waiting to see if you guys have any requests, but right now I want to take a look at Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance here. Let me go into my watch list. Bitcoin dominance at 60.55%. It's actually down today. Bitcoin dominance is actually down today. Are people trying to buy altcoins thinking that they're getting good deals right now? Because they might be. But right now, Bitcoin dominance is actually going down as well. That's interesting. If Bitcoin dominance is going down and USDT dominance is going up, then that could signify that people are selling not only their altcoins, but they're also selling their Bitcoin to go into dollars or to go into Tether right now. We'll take a look at Tether dominance after this, but right now we're seeing Bitcoin dominance is actually going down on a day like today after it went up yesterday. And looks like we have the 100-day moving average could act as resistance. We want it to act as resistance. We do not want Bitcoin dominance to go any higher than it already is, but right now Bitcoin dominance is on an uptrend, and it could keep on going until what, maybe the 200-day moving average acts as resistance. But we're hoping that the 100-day sitting at 60.9%, we're hoping that that's going to act as resistance, and this is just all one bad dream here, so that way our altcoins can catch some bids and actually regain what we lost here in the altcoins world. Alright, but yeah, I'm starting to think that altcoin season is going to come to an end if we get this Bitcoin dominance coming back up to the 2-day moving average. We lost the 200-day moving average back here in July. That was good to see. That was the beginning of your altcoin season in the summer here. Okay, leading up into September, October, but at sometime in like the middle of September, we started seeing Bitcoin dominance creeping back up again. And this is no good for altcoin season. This could be the end of altcoin season if we get up to that 200-day moving average and we get above it. All right, and that 200-day moving average sitting at 61.75%. This red number right here, but that if we get up to that 200-day moving average, I'm gonna call it the end of altcoin season. To be honest with you guys, that could happen in the next few days, few weeks here. What a sad way to end 2025 if that's the case here. I want to be more bullish than this, guys, but this is what the charts are showing. Now let's look at USDT dominance. So USDT dominance. This is Tether dominance. This is you know, for those who are new to crypto, this is the dollars that are in crypto, right? USDT dominance is supposed to be a cryptocurrency called Tether that is connected to the US dollar. You're supposed to be able to get, you know, whatever amount of Tether you have. So if you have 100 Tether or 1,000 Tether, it should equal, you know, 1,000 US dollars here, okay? And when people are going into Tether, when Tether dominance is going up, that means people are scared and they're going into Tether they're basically, in this case, they're going into Tether because they're afraid to be in their cryptocurrency positions right now. So yeah, Tether dominance increasing, going up to 5.5% right now. We haven't been this high since April, when people were scared about tariffs. And of course, you know, they're in the thick of it when, you know, tariffs was scaring everybody. We saw Tether dominance as high as 6.2%. So we're on our way there to, you know, going into the 6% area where people were very scared. You would think, you know, if this is a buying opportunity, right, that this could be the best prices you could get for cryptocurrencies, because a lot of people go into dollars, and if, you know, we get some good news, that's going to help the markets. I'm not sure what that good news is, because we already had interest rates go down. We've already had a trade deal with China, and people are still scared. Okay, if we can somehow get people to not be scared anymore, then, you know, these might be the best prices for crypto, just like you saw back here in April. But back in April, we saw Bitcoin at $74,000. Does Tether dominance need to keep going up more? And does Bitcoin need to go down more in price before things kind of like even out here? Tether dominance has been, over the years, over the last few years, Tether dominance has been going down. We've seen Tether dominance very high back in like 2022. Okay, when Tether dominance was high as, let's see, as high as like 9%. And that was right after FTX went bankrupt and Bitcoin was at $17,000. Okay, that was a scary time. Also back here in June of 2022, we saw Tether dominance increase, and I think that had to do with there was like another cryptocurrency that went bankrupt. It was I can't really remember which one it was. It was like Twin Arrows or something like that. But there was like it was a stable coin that went bankrupt, and that caused Tether dominance to also increase as well. So there was a good scare back here in June of 2022. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's been a while. But I know there was a cryptocurrency that was that dropped down all the way to like $0. It was tied to like stable coins, and that threw everybody in for a shock. So those two shock waves was like the double top here, as far as like how scared the market was back in 2022. Could we see Tether dominance actually go up to 9% again? That would be scary if it does. That means a lot of people. That means over like 9% of the market in cryptocurrency is in stable coins. But it could be a possibility. Could be a possibility. Right now, we're kind of in a downtrend. We have you know, lower highs here on Tether dominance. We're hoping that this ends up being a lower high, and you know, then we start coming back down again on Tether dominance as people get more excited to be back into altcoins and Bitcoin again. But this is leading me to believe that people are selling their Bitcoin and they're selling their cryptocurrencies, their altcoins, to go into Tether dominance. And that's no bueno for prices to go up. This is actually good if you're trying to buy some crypto. It means they're getting better for the ones who are trying to start in crypto for the very first time here. You're getting some discount deals right now. All right, let's see what the Hulk Smash is saying right now. Stablecoin dominance is a good chart too. Takes into account more than just Tether. Okay, I'll try to see if I can pull that up. I'm a little bit interested to see that as well. You said Tether is 10x of USDC, so probably fine to just use Tether. Yeah, Tether has the most amount of market cap out of the stablecoin, so it's usually a good one to start off with. But you said total stables is already at 9.4%. Wow. Okay, let's see if I can find that chart here. You said stable. Let me see if I can type stable CD. All right, I think I found it right here. And you are right there, Hulk Smash. Stablecoin dominance is at 9.45%. Looks like this thing started charting this data back in like May of 2025. I wonder if there's a better one out there, because I want to get more than just that. Let's see, stable coins market cap. No, I want the market cap dominance. Yeah, I wish this chart had more data than just. It looks like it started charting this back in like May of 2025, but I mean this is still useful to see here. Looks like stablecoin dominance was down at its lowest point in July of 2025 when Bitcoin was making new all-time highs, and we had the stablecoin bill get passed, and XRP was making I think the highs for the years, and Solana was doing alright as well. But ever since then, ever since July, it's been stablecoin dominance has been increasing. Now, I have to take this with a grain of salt, because I know like stablecoins are becoming more popular all throughout the world, not just for buying and selling crypto, but just to have as like a savings account. So I'm not sure if this chart is actually showing us how scared people are. I think it's showing us how stablecoins are being more widely adopted all throughout the world as a way to save money. Because you have to remember, there's people around the world that don't have bank accounts, but they're able to have a phone and electricity, or a computer with electricity, and they're able to at least store their money in stablecoins as a way to save up for the future. So this could be just showing us something else here besides fear in the markets. But it is going up in confluence with the fact that everybody's scared right now. But anyways, let's move on. Let's see what you guys have for some requests here. If not, I'm gonna take a look at some of the altcoins myself here. Let me just check out. Javier says buy now. Lorraine said, what did I say about old season? That's double topping. There it is. Yeah, Tether. That double top on the it was double topping on Tether dominance back in 2022. That's what I was saying, which indicated that was peak fear back in 2022. Dread says, Bitcoin, I believe in you. You can get back up. Let's go, Bitcoin. All right. Let's see what else. Lorraine says that's another double topping, Damien, isn't it? I mean, right now, this kind of looks like it could be double topping on stablecoin dominance all throughout the world here. We had Friday, October 10th, we got as high as like 9.66%, and then today we got as high as 9.5%. I mean, I'm gonna start to try to give you guys a little bit of hope here. And there is a U.S. jobs market report from ADP. It's not like the official government data, but because the government shut down, it's like the only data that we're getting on the jobs market. And if that is a bad jobs report tomorrow, that could justify lowering interest rates for the U.S. Federal Reserve to actually lower interest rates in December. And that could be, I mean, today could just be the worst of it all right now. There's a little bit of a liquidity crisis going on because, like, you know, if I show you right now, like gold, the price of gold is down today. Silver is down. Okay, Bitcoin is down. For those who have 401ks, you know that the S&P 500 is down as well. NASDAQ is down, Dow Jones, everything is down. It's not just Bitcoin and crypto. Also oil. The price of oil is going down as well. So there's like a liquidity crisis going on all throughout the world. Everybody's going into dollars right now. Let me go ahead and I just want to change this this chart here. Get rid of the extend lines. But anyways, let's see what's going on in the CoinMarketCap right now. You can see that the Fear and Greed Index is at 27. Usually when you're in the 20s or less than 20s, if you're in the red here, it's always a good time to buy something, right? So yesterday the Fear and Greed was at 36. Last week it was at 42. Last month it was at 59 in neutral territory. But let's see, looking at the Fear and Greed Index over the past year now, last time we were at like 27 was like right around in April. And we know April was a good time to buy crypto. And then right here in June, we actually got down to like 37 when the United States was dropping bombs on Iran and scaring everybody about World War III here. This could be just another buying opportunity for those who are brave enough to buy some crypto and stocks right now. I personally want to see how Bitcoin handles itself near the 100K area. I think a lot of people are trying to see if Bitcoin can stay above 100K. $101,000 was not on my bingo card for Bitcoin in November, but here we are. And right now Ethereum's at 3402, XRP down at $2.23. BNB actually lost $1,000. It's no longer $1,000 anymore. Solana down at 157. Tron, what, 28 cents. Are there any cryptos that are doing good in the top 100? Let's look at this. Let's flip this 24-hour percentage here, see which one's doing all right. You got Decred is actually up today, 54%. ICP, we were talking about that yesterday. ICP is up 45%. Dash, we were talking about that yesterday as well. That one's up 24%. And then other than that, it's like, I don't know, Monero. But you know, good luck trying to buy Monero. If you can't find it on any exchanges anymore, for the most part. You gotta go on like a decentralized exchange to find some Monero. But that one's up 1.68%. That's a security privacy coin right there. Memecore, I think this one was doing well yesterday or the day before that, and that one's only up 1.5%, so not looking good. And let's see who's taking on the chin the hardest here. Looks like SPX 6900, of course, the meme coins would be taking the biggest blows right now. Tau was actually doing well the last couple of days, and Tau is actually, it looks like it's selling off. There's some profit taking going on. That one's down 16.68% today. Story IP down, what, 13%. Aptos, ooh, Aptos, wow, geez, Aptos. Supposed to be a competitor to Sui, and that one's down 10.6%. I was in Aptos earlier, but I got out of it earlier this year at higher prices than this, but damn. Aerodrome Finance is down as well, down 9%, and I think, you know, most of them are down like 8 or 9%. Some of them down even more, like 10%. But yeah, that's what I see here on CoinMarketCap. No bueno. What's the coin you guys want to take a look at? You guys have any coin that you think might buck the trend? Or what coin you think might recover the hardest here? Let's see, we got some requests here from my TikTok guys. We have CC asking about ICP. We got Fly Mendy asking about Doge, and another guy asking about Solana. Let me go ahead and write those down and put them in order here. I'm gonna take them as they come in order here. But let's see. Lorraine wanted to look at ICP and Dash. Okay. So we'll do ICP as one of the first ones. Then we'll take a look at Dash after that, and then we'll look at Dogecoin. And we'll take a look at Solana. And let's see, anything else? Ethereum after that. We'll take a look at the Ethereum. Lorraine, I didn't miss you. We're going to do ICP first and Dash. That's the one that you requested, right? Yeah. You did say Tether, but we looked at Tether already. Yeah. Alright, let's get into ICP, which is one of the cryptocurrencies that gives us hope to make money in these today. Alright. ICP. Currently trading at $5.64. This thing is trading up 43% today. making somebody money out there. You know, I had someone requesting ICP like a few days ago. I wonder if they're taking profit. We've gone up above the 200-day moving average. I said that take profit should be at $4.80 around that area where that 200-day moving average is sitting at. I would be taking profit in ICP. You are now above the 200-day moving average. You can actually say that this thing is back to being bullish again because you're above the 200-day moving average. That's my qualification to be bullish on an asset, or to at least have a bullish bias. But I did mark off $5.48. I'm trying to figure out why I did that. I think I saw some candlewick tops. Let's see, 548. Just going through the history here. It was acting as support for the most part, resistance. So yeah, 548 was a level that I was looking at. And I think it was also probably, if I turn on the VRVP indicator, it probably was a level to look at as well there. Yeah, it looks like my VRVP indicator. You got a lot of high volume right here at 548. 548, 553, somewhere around this area. So like basically between like 490 and 560 was a lot of volume here that we have to work through. But once you work through that volume, if you get past like 560, 570, there's a gap in the VRVP and you won't get any more resistance until $7 comes into play here. So I think if ICP is going to continue being bullish, $7 should be your next take profit target if you're going to stay in ICP for the long run here. But I still have to zoom out a little bit more. There's some more volume at like $8 and some more volume at $9.25. Okay, interesting. And I'm going to quickly do a Fibonacci on this one, just to see what the extension levels will be and what the retracement levels will be for this one. So I'm just measuring from where we topped out here at like 570. How high did we get? 579. Down to, we'll take it down to the lows here. Yeah. Swing low, swing high. Fibonacci extension above us is showing that a 1618 is at $7.67. I think I said, you know, $7 should be a take profit target because of the VRVP indicator. And then there's a 2618 at $10.69 and a 3618 at $13.71. Those should be your targets for ICP in the long run here. Now, as far as like downside, if ICP starts retracing down on us here, it could come down to this golden pocket here at 465 and 474, which is confluent with where that 200-day moving average is at and the 100-day moving average. So, you know, ICP could come down to the 100-day and 200-day moving average, which is confluent with that 618. And I think that would be a normal pullback before we launch up to go to higher prices on ICP here. But yeah, I think that should be a target zone for ICP. Of course, you know, if it loses that, then there are, you know, maybe we had a little bit of sideways trading here at like $4 for ICP. So maybe the 0.32 could be another downside target to you know, scoop up some cheaper ICP if you're able to do so here. Alright, moving on from ICP, we'll take a look at Dash. Guys, how's the music? I feel like it's a little bit loud on my end. I'm going to turn it down. Anyways, Dash is currently trading at $122. Still up today, 2%. It was up even further than that earlier this morning. I know that for a fact because I saw ICP get up to like $150. I think that happened like last night. And let me get into the 1 hour time frame because that's what I was looking at for Dash here. So I did measure you know, Fibonacci from for Dash, measuring from like $80, where it got, that was like one of the lows yesterday, to the high of like 123 bucks is where ICP was like topping out at yesterday, and it gave me this Fibonacci to look for. We had a 1272 that said that Dash could get up to like 135 bucks, but it looks like we actually topped out at the 1618 at $150. So Fibonacci kind of played out like a charm here, where we saw Dash get up to $150.16 12 o'clock at night last night. Well, 12 o'clock Eastern time for me. Okay, could have been a different time for you guys. I know you guys are all around the world here. But yeah, Dash, you know, looks like it topped out here. I'm gonna get, actually no, I'll keep the Fibonacci. If we were to come back down to even lower prices here, I would expect Dash to, well, it looks like it already came down to the 786. It came down to the 786 at $114.38. It actually got that low this hour that we're looking at right now. It came down low to $114 already. So you've got like the retracement already going on for Dash. If it continues to further retrace down to lower prices, then yeah, you got the 618 right below you at the $107, $108, and then also the 0.5 at 102. I think this is a level where people are like, all right, Dash is at 100 bucks, and you would think the bulls would try to defend a $100 psychological target. This is the area that I'd be looking for to scoop up some cheaper Dash if I'm, you know, if I'm going to be bullish on Dash here, which I think it could still be bullish. Yeah, if I go to the daily time frame, this thing is clearly above all the moving averages here. So I'd be trying to scoop up some Dash at like 100 bucks if I can. Dash still bullish here. Do I need to get into the oscillators? Let's take a look at the oscillators real quick. MACD is still showing buying pressure is increasing on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, buying pressure is starting to die down though. And then the 1-hour time frame, buying pressure has died down since last night, and we're getting selling pressure coming in this morning on Dash. Okay, so if this continues, you'll see Dash go down to lower prices, and you might be able to scoop up some Dash at some cheaper prices than where it is right now. Alright, let's look at Market Cipher B real quick. Market Cipher B is showing that Dash topped out on the 1-hour time frame last night at 12 p.m. Eastern time, 12 a.m. Eastern time. Then you have the green red dots here, but yeah, you already topped out. You hit the overbought bars over here, the red bars here. And you got the momentum going down, you got money flow going down, and money flow now starting to go into red. I would expect Dash to, if you're looking to short Dash, now's your time to start shorting it, because on the 1-hour time frame, you got money flow is leaving Dash right now, and you got a red dot confirming that you can be bearish. As of 10 a.m. Eastern time, about 3 hours ago, you could have been bearish and you would have been getting paid on your short. Okay. So yeah, Dash, but like how much further down could Dash go? I think it could revisit 114 again, try that area, and then maybe it might push down further into 108, 107 if you're going to be trying to short Dash right now. Alright, moving on from Dash, we got to take a look at Dogecoin. Anybody want to look at stocks? Anybody have any stocks you want to look at? We're doing all crypto right now. Philip Torp, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. And Lorraine, how is the music now? Is it a little bit too loud? Because I could turn it down some more. I don't know if I actually turn it down enough. Let's see. Let me try to turn it down like that. There we go. Alright. Alright, yep, I turned it down. I turned it down. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I felt like it was loud on my end. So, anyways, we're looking at Dogecoin trading at just below 16 pennies, down 4.5% today. Let's go into the daily time frame. Ooh, what a nasty, nasty chart here. You are still making lower highs here on the daily time frame here, and now you are definitely making lower lows. You lost a low here on October 30th, but this thing was as low as like 17.5 cents. Yesterday was the killer candle that was the bearish engulfing candle that took you down to lower prices, and you're getting some follow through right now on Dogecoin going to lower prices. It's looking dicey, looking pretty bearish out there. How much further down can Dogecoin go? Well, the lows for the year, we did see Dogecoin get down to like a little bit below 13 pennies here on April 7th. And then here on June 22nd, we saw Dogecoin go down to like 14 pennies here. Maybe 14 and 13 pennies is where we go next year for Dogecoin. I don't know, guys. What's going to get us to go back up to higher prices here? I think we need to see the U.S. government resume operations again to get the fear out of the market. And then we need to see a bad jobs report tomorrow, so people can get hopeful about an interest rate cut again in December. But yeah, Dogecoin nosediving down to lower prices here. I'll do a Fibonacci going the other way to try to figure out how much further down it could possibly go here, right? Take it to the swing high right here. Okay. And where's my 1272? I gotta add that level in there. Where's my 1272? It's not in there. There we go. Let's get that in there. Alright, so using Fibonacci going the other way, I got Fib extension levels that could show us that Dogecoin could drop down to like 14 cents. Well, that 1272 is at 0.143 pennies, and then the 1618 is saying that we could get down to 12 pennies here on Dogecoin. And I think that 12 penny level is confluent with basically the lows for the year when we saw Dogecoin at 0.129 pennies here. So I think 12, 13, 14 pennies is where Dogecoin goes next if we continue going to the downside here. Now to the upside, I mean, all you're hoping and praying right now is can Dogecoin get back up to the daily time frame, 200-day moving average sitting at 20 cents. I think a lot of people would feel better about, you know, offloading their Dogecoin at 20 cents rather than offloading it right here at 15 cents. But yeah, get about 200-day moving average and we can talk about being bullish again on Dogecoin. Right now, I have to be bearish if we're below that 200-day moving average. Maureen says Elon couldn't even save Dogecoin. Yep. Let's see. Maureen says he made the big spike yesterday on Doge. Brown Mock says Jelly Jelly went crazy. Is that a request for Jelly Jelly? Max Payne says he's gonna buy Dogecoin at the real bottom, which is 8 cents according to him. All right, that'd be nice, right? Let's see. Is there a Fib extension that takes us down there? You got a 2618 saying that we could see 6 cents, and a 3618 saying that we could see 0 pennies for Dogecoin. I highly doubt that's going to be the case, but I'd be looking for 12 pennies, possibly 6 pennies here on Dogecoin if it really gets bad out there. So 8 pennies doesn't sound too far of a stretch. Let's look at the Solana. Solana currently trading at $156.48. I think Solana has hit the Fibonacci level that I was looking for. Yeah, the 0.236 level at $156.88. We were expecting a reaction here and possibly a support zone for Solana, and it was also a previous higher low at one point. We saw Solana get down to like $155.75 on August 2nd. So we're revisiting those lows. We're round tripping our bags here back to where they were in the beginning of August of 2025. But yeah, Solana has also lost its 200-day moving average, so I have to be bearish on Solana as of now. I had a stop loss myself. My last stop loss that sold my Solana spot bags was right below the 200-day moving average. I put it at like 177 bucks because, you know, sometimes it likes to come to the 200-day moving average, overshoot it a little bit, and then go back up. But I'm glad I sold my Solana at $177. It's better than, you know, watching it drop all the way down to 156 and not selling anything. I also sold some of my Solana at 200 bucks as well, and 231 in last month. We saw Solana get up to like 237, and I had like a bracket order on Coinbase saying that, you know, I was hoping Solana would go up to like 260, 290, or 300. And I had a bracket order that would, you know, maybe I'll show you guys one day how to do a bracket order on Coinbase. But you can do a bracket order on your spot bags on Coinbase, where you can say, hey, you know, if Solana goes below 230, sell. But if it continues going up to like 300, sell at that price as well. Okay, I had a bracket order, and of course I got stopped out on my bracket order at 231, and thank God, because you know then Solana dropped all the way down to like 170 bucks on October 10th here, and of course we haven't really been able to recover since then. But if Solana is able to recover and we can try to come up and be bullish again on Solana, first we got to get up to that 2-day moving average at 179 bucks, which is confluent with that 0.32 retracement. Then we got some Fibonacci levels to work with here, and also some moving averages that we have to get past. Right now, the 50-day moving average is sitting at $200. I feel like a good majority of people, probably myself, I do have some more Solana. I would probably sell some more of my Solana at $200 if I can, if Solana is able to climb back up to that area. Okay. Then I would like to sell some more Solana if I can at 226, which is a 786 retracement here. And then I want to hold off, because if we are climbing back up to higher prices on Solana, I do want to sell, you know, closer to 300 bucks. We do have a 1618 at 333. That would be nice if we can get back up to that area again. Well, I mean, not again, but for the first time ever, if we can actually get $300 Solana here. I don't think Solana's ever been at 300 bucks. We got close to it here in January when we got up to like 295, but that's about it on Solana. We have a request here for Shiba Inu. Let me go ahead and write that down. And Brown Mockin you didn't tell me if you wanted to look at Jelly Jelly. You just said, you made a statement that Jelly Jelly went crazy, but I don't know if that was a request. But I do have a request here for Shiba Inu, so we'll take a look at Shiba. And that's going to be after we look at Ethereum. Alrighty. We're moving on from Solana. We'll take a look at, actually I didn't really do any downside price targets for Solana. I mean, Solana, please don't lose 156 bucks. This is a pretty important area for you to hold, okay? It has acted as support before. But if Solana does lose 156 bucks, I mean, we could test the lows here back here in June, where we saw Solana at 126 bucks. Or maybe we got to go down to the lows here in April at $95. Ugh, could be nasty for Solana. But let me just pull up the VRVP indicator real quick here. See what we have for high volume nodes. We have a high volume node here at $145. That could act as support for Solana. Then we have another high volume area at 127 bucks. So 127 and 145 bucks is the next areas for Solana to go to if we can't hold 156 right now. All right. Moving on from Solana, let's go into Ethereum. All right. What do we got here for Ethereum? Ethereum actually doing better than Solana and Bitcoin. It is actually above its 200-day moving average, but it looks like it's about to lose it. 200-day moving average, simple moving average is at 33.71, and well, Ethereum's at 33.68, so we're kind of losing it literally right now as I speak. If Ethereum decides to break past this and go to lower prices, we do have a 0.236 below us at 27.87. I think that's where some people are looking to buy some cheaper Ethereum if they're able to do so. Let's see, that 27.87 level was the level that was acting as like resistance back here in June. So you would think that could act as support maybe in the future here if we do drop down to those prices. But yeah, Ethereum making lower highs ever since August. And of course making lower lows to get us down to those lower highs. Ethereum's in a downtrend right now. Looking pretty bad. But if, you know, I don't know what's going to cause us to go back up again. We need Bitcoin to go back up. That's for damn sure. But if Ethereum's able to do a V-shaped recovery out of here, we could see us get back up to the 618 at $3,900 Ethereum. Those are your upside targets as of now. the moving averages, you get the 100-day moving at 37 and the 50-day moving at 41s. I think this is a good area to offload your Ethereum if we do get a relief rally here. But then you gotta see if you get above that 50-day moving average to be more bullish here. And I don't know if we're ever gonna see 5,000 or 6,000, 7,000 Ethereum, but there is some targets above you using that Fibonacci that I drew earlier. And I drew this Fibonacci from like 49.50 all the way down to like 2100, where we were like trading at back in June. So swing low to swing high, and got me these Fibonacci targets here. All right, and let me just throw on the VRVP as well, see what that has to say here for Ethereum. So you got a volume gap here on the VRVP indicator. There's some support at like literally $3,000. So I guess $3,000 will be a psychological target for Ethereum before you come down to 2,700. And then the POC, the most volume is at $2,500. A lot of people bought Ethereum at $2,500 earlier in May and June of this year. So you would think that those people, they're still in profit, and they're not going to click the sell button until Ethereum drops below $2,500 here. All right, moving on from Ethereum, let's take a look at the Shiba Inu. Shiba. All right, let me clean things up here. This thing is looking crazy on the charts here. Let me get rid of the VRVP for now. And I'll just fix this, that way the lines aren't extending to the right anymore. Okay. Actually, you know what? I could just probably get rid of this Fibonacci altogether. I don't think this is useful anymore. Shiba Inu down 3.7% today. I have some red lines on the chart here as take profit targets. If Shiba Inu was actually going to be bullish, I'll still keep them on there, but I think to the downside, oof. How much further down could Shiba Inu go? We're kind of trading back here like we did in February of 2024. And then, let's see. If we go any lower, there's like some... Shiba Inu could possibly go down to 700 here. You were trading back in October of 2023. Damn. Shiba Inu has lost all of this price action to the upside. Talk about a round trip. If you guys needed any more further, you know, proof that you shouldn't be in meme coins, this would be it right here. If you get anybody that was a long-term investor, they're basically back to break even again. Like whoever bought in January 2024, they're back to break even again on Shiba Inu. Oh, that's why when we say take profits, we're not kidding and joking here. You got to take your profits when you got them. All right, let me go into the VRVP indicator here. Let's see what the VRVP indicator has to say. So the majority of people bought Shiba Inu at this blue line at 800. You would expect 800 to hold up as support. We're a little bit above that right now at 884, but 814, that blue line, is where the majority of people bought Shiba Inu. You would expect a reaction and a bounce off that level if we do go down to that low of a price. But if we lose that $800 area, then there is a value area low, that white line below us at 665. That's where you would expect some more support for Shiba Inu, because that's about as low as it has gone over the last 2 to 3 years now. Yikes. Oh, thank you, Lorene, for the gift there. Thank you, appreciate that. And thank you, A-Wink, for following me here on TikTok. Reeve wants to look at Gala. Okay, I got that as a request. Thank you for the request there. And guys, we're at like 6,700 likes here on TikTok. Let's see if we can get up to 7,000. I think that should be easy. We got enough people to do that. Let's see if we can get up to like 8. You know, I'm going to raise the bar. Let's see if we can get up to like 10,000 likes. All you guys got to do is double tap your screen on your phone to send me the like. And you just keep on clicking on that. And that's going to get us up to like 10,000 likes here. But right now we're just shy of 7,000 likes right now. Alright, so I haven't really given you the bullish case here on Shiba Inu. Let me go ahead and try to do that for you. Give the VRVP indicator a chance to reset. So you got a value area low above you now with this most recent update. We could see Shiba Inu get to like 1100. Okay, and then of course we have a POC above you at 1300. Moving averages. The moving averages. If I get rid of the VRVP indicator now. All your moving averages, they look like they're bunched up between like 1200 and 1260. So if Shiba Inu gets back up to like 1200, 1260, I would think about selling some of my Shiba Inu at that point. Let me go ahead and try to measure that out, see how much of a percentage gain that would be from where you are right now. If you can get right back up to like the 200-day moving average, you're looking at like a 44% gain from where you are right now, and I would definitely click the sell button, because we know that these meme coins, they can lose money just as much as they make people money, and this thing is round tripping itself back to where it was like 2 years ago. So hey, if you were trying to buy Shiba Inu at cheaper prices, you're getting it right now. Alright, moving on from Shiba Inu, take a look at Gala. Oh man, Gala's looking just as bad as Shiba Inu. This thing is down 3% today and trading at 856. Looks just like the Shiba Inu chart almost. Gala had some of his best days back in March of 2024 when this thing was trading at like 8 pennies. Then it made a lower high here in December 2024, another altcoin season. And that was at like roughly just below 5 pennies here. But now you're not even at 1 penny. You're at less than 1 penny here on Gala. If Gala can cast some bids here and get back up to the 200-day moving average, I would be bullish again on Gala if it could get up to that 200-day moving average, sitting at 0.159 pennies here. And if you do that, I think that's like almost a double from where we are right now. About an 85% gain, almost a double. Just getting back up to the 200-day moving average. Maybe that might be what you're waiting for if you're trying to long it here. And you just put your stop loss tight, you know, below the lows from yesterday. This thing was as low as like 835 here. Maybe put your stop loss somewhere in this area below 800 or 830. But yeah, let's see. Let me zoom out again. Put on the VRVP indicator. I think that's a useful indicator to be using right now. You got a high volume node just above you at 1 penny. So people were trying to give it a good fight here on Gala at 1 penny, but you lost 1 penny. But if you get up to 1 penny and you get above that, there's a gap in the VRVP, and you won't get more resistance until you get up to like a penny and a half. And then the majority of people bought Gala at this blue line, sitting at just shy of 2 pennies, at 0.017 pennies here, is a good take profit target. And if you do that, that should be a double from where you are right now. I'll measure that out real quick. Let's see. We measure from where we are right now to that point of control. Yeah, it's about like a double, a 98% gain. Rajivi saying, who trades altcoins? We buy them. You know, you can buy them, yeah. But in order to make money, you have to sell them at a higher price. So as long as you're buying low and selling high, that's how you make money. But if you're buying them and then they go down to lower prices, you're not making money. Whether you realize the loss now or not, your unrealized losses are going to hurt you. Alright, we already checked out Dash earlier on the live stream. I'll look at it again and do like a summary outlook on it. We sell only in profit. That is easier said than done. It's very easy to say that, but for some reason, a lot of people have a hard time executing that. Buying low and selling high. Because, you know, a lot of people are still emotional creatures at the end of the day. Alright, so we are looking at Gala. I gave you upside targets and downside for Gala, right? Yeah. Laureen says, if Bitcoin is dropping more, it takes the altcoins with it, so you would wait. Not financial advice, of course. Never financial advice. Alright, let's take a look at Dash one more time. I'm going to try to make it quick, though, because we already talked about it on this live stream. But yeah, Dash is at $120. As you know, it got up to $150. Going into the 1 hour time frame, we were looking at this yesterday on the 1 hour time frame. It was creating a bull flag. It actually played out. That bull flag played out, and we saw this thing get up to like 120 bucks. Is what we were looking for on the bull flag. And then on top of that, it went higher than that, obviously. I drew a Fibonacci from $80 up to $123 is where it topped out yesterday. And that Fibonacci showed us that the 1618 was at 150 bucks, and we actually hit 150 bucks last night. But now Dash is cooling off finally and getting a retracement back. It looks like if it's going to continue retracing down, let me get rid of the ERVP for now. If it retraces down further, it could come down to 114 bucks like it did an hour ago. But it could come down there again just to retest it. And then we might even see Dash come down to the 0.618 at $107, $108 here. That's the next downside target for Dash if you're going to continue playing a short here. And this is unfortunate because yesterday I was trying to short Dash at 120 bucks, $119. And I had my stop loss at like 122 and I got stopped out. Thank God, because this thing climbed up to like $150. But yeah, it's funny how it's like back to where I was shorting at last night. STGN is asking, are we cooked, Damien? I think we're having a bad day. You know, I wouldn't say we're cooked completely. If Bitcoin loses psychological 100K, I'm a little bit curious how much the price will drop down after that. I think we'll see Bitcoin go to 95, 97K really fast after we lose 100K. But tomorrow we have a U.S. jobs report from ADP. It's a private payroll jobs report. It's not from the U.S. government themselves. But if that shows jobs or losing jobs in the economy, that's going to then indicate that the Federal Reserve needs to lower interest rates, which would be good for the markets. Bad that the economy is losing jobs, but good for the markets. And we might actually have a green day tomorrow if we get a bad jobs report. So I think everybody's waiting for that. I think that comes out 8:30 tomorrow morning. Let me just double check. Go into a Forex factory here. We're looking for the jobs report for tomorrow. ADP non-farm employment report is coming out 8:15 tomorrow morning, a.m. Eastern time. Let's see, what are they expecting here? They're expecting us to get 32,000 jobs. But last month we actually lost 32,000 jobs. Let's see what the chart is looking like here. Why is this thing showing it like that? Alright, whatever. But, jeez, I gotta kind of zoom in here. Yeah, I was trying to pull up a chart here, but I'll play around with that on my own time here. 32,000 jobs is what they're expecting. If we don't get 32,000 jobs, if we get like 10,000 jobs, that would be good enough for the markets to say, hey, jobs aren't that good. There's going to be an interest rate cut in December. If we get a negative print, like we did last month on jobs report, That would still give us an interest rate cut, I believe, in December. But then people are going to start talking about, oh, are we going into a recession? So I think, you know, I'm sorry, let me go back to this again. I think we want to see like jobs at like 10,000 or, yeah, 10,000 jobs. We don't want a negative number. A negative number still gets us what we want for interest rate cut, but then it might actually create more fear in the market that a recession is coming. So we want just a positive jobs report number, but we want something below 32,000. If we could have it our way. Not saying that we're actually going to get it our way. And then, of course, if the U.S. Government would actually open up again for business, I think that would take a lot of fear out of the market, and it'd be good for the economy and the stock market, cryptocurrency market. But yeah, there's a lot of fear in the market, and even gold and silver, which would benefit during fear. Even gold and silver is down today. Gold is down 1.29%. We're having kind of like a liquidity crisis. Everybody's just selling everything they can to cover their margin calls if they're getting margin calls. And there's a lot of fear in the market all across the board. Even gold and silver can't hold up on their gains here. It's okay to be in cash. It's okay to be in cash. That is a position to hold. You don't always have to be in stocks. You don't have to always be in crypto. You don't have to be in gold. You don't have to be in silver. You can be in cash. That is a position. If things are going down, then you're actually making money by not losing money, right? And then you can use that money that you saved in cash to buy cheaper assets that you like. But I want to take a look at a stock that was actually doing pretty well. It actually reported good earnings, but like for some reason they said, well, can it continue doing good for like the next, you know, few quarters and few months here? And that one is Palantir, currently down 7%. This is a stock that actually reported good earnings yesterday. They were expecting earnings to be about 16 cents. They actually reported earnings at 21 cents per share. And their revenue came in higher than what they were expected. They were expecting $1.09 billion. They actually had $1.18 billion. So they beat both top and bottom lines. And they're getting punished today, because I guess it just wasn't good enough for Wall Street here. Okay. But I do want to analyze Palantir because I actually own this stock. This is actually my biggest stock position. And as I start to zoom out, you'll see why I like Palantir. Yeah, because it's been going up and to the right. And every time it drops down, that's just a buying opportunity. But let me get rid of this for now. Right now, Palantir on the daily time frame is coming down to this 21 exponential moving average, sitting at 185 bucks. We actually got as low as 185 bucks earlier today. Okay, so we came down to the 21 EMA. If we lose the 21 EMA, I would expect support on Palantir at $165 where the 50-day moving average is sitting at. But we haven't actually touched the 50-day moving average since April, during the whole Liberation Day tariff scare. Palantir has been so damn bullish it hasn't touched the 50-day moving average since April. It's been above it the whole time. And it's also been above the 21 EMA, which anytime you're above the 21 EMA and you're also above all the other moving averages, you're extremely bullish in my opinion. Alright, but let's do a Fibonacci analysis here real quick, because I want to know how high this thing could go, because I think this is just temporary. This thing is going to continue making money and showing why it deserves to go to higher prices here. And if Palantir continues going to higher prices, we got a 1272 that says we could see $225 Palantir in the future. And there's a 1618 saying $248 is a possibility. And then a 2618 saying we could see a $300 Palantir. And I know Palantir is like, their multiple is pretty high right now. You know, their earnings per share was at what, 21 cents per share is what they got for this quarter. If they do that again for the next 4 quarters, for the next year, that's about 80 cents. But their stock is trading at $191 bucks. So you would have to do 191 divided by 80 cents to get their earnings multiple. Let me just try to pull that out real quick here. So 191 divided by 0.8. That's a price to earnings multiple of 238. That's pretty damn high. Most technology stocks have a price to earnings multiple of like 60. I think that's the reason why people are scared to be in Palantir right now, because the price to earnings is too damn high for the amount of earnings that they got. However, they're in artificial intelligence and they got government contracts and they're best of the breed. They're better than any other AI company out there that works for the government. So I think it's still, as long as they continue making money and surprising us to the upside, like their earnings, if earnings continue to grow, you know, let's say they make 30 cents per share for the next 4 quarters here. So you just take 0.3 times 4, $1.20, right? And if you do earnings per share of 191 divided by $1.20, then that price to earnings multiple drops down to 159. Still pretty high, but you could justify this thing going to higher prices if it continues growing its earnings, right? And if that, you know, if we still maintain a 200 multiple on the price to earnings multiple with $1.20 for earnings per share, you can see 240 bucks for Palantir. And that's why I think, you know, 240 bucks does not seem like a far stretch for Palantir to go to in the future. And that's at 1618 at 248 bucks as well. So that's a little bit of math. That's what some people do here in stock market world. I know we talk about cryptocurrencies a lot, but in stock market world, they care about earnings and they care about their price to earnings multiples here. And that's how they do the math in the stock market world here. That's what I used to do. I've been trading stocks since I was 18 years old. Investing in stocks. My first stock that I bought was Boeing and Google. And I know, like, this whole price to earnings and figuring out, you know, multiples on the price to earnings, that's all part of fundamental analysis. And right now, you see me on the charts. When I'm on the charts here, this is called technical analysis, which is a little bit different than fundamental analysis. Some people say one's better than the other. I think it's good to be able to do both. And if both of them are giving you the same number, like in this case, the TA, the technical analysis, saying that Palantir could get to 248. And my fundamental analysis, using a little bit of guesswork, is also saying that we could get up to 240 bucks here as well. So that's why I'm comfortable with being in Palantir as my biggest position, and also just waiting until we get to 248. Now 248 might not happen this month or this year, but maybe that happens sometime next year, is why I'm still in Palantir. Alright, let's see. Stajen says, so we're slightly cooked unless we have a bad jobs report. No, we actually want a bad jobs report tomorrow. We don't want them to get the number that they're looking for. We want it to be a little bit below that. We want less jobs as investors here. Maybe not as, you know, you don't want to see your neighbor or yourself lose your job, but less jobs being created would then force the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates so that way they can create more jobs in the future, is what we're looking for. Yeah. So we actually want a bad jobs report tomorrow. That would make things better in the stock market and cryptocurrency world here. Hey, we did hit 10,000 likes. Thank you, Lorraine, and everybody else that hit that like button. Appreciate that. Glad to see that. And my YouTube guys, you guys are being quiet in YouTube world here. That's fine. That's okay. It's a little bit tough to look at the stocks and crypto here, especially when everything's down. There's really nothing going up except for leverage ETFs that are shorting the stock market right now. And, you know, if you're shorting gold, silver, if you're shorting anything right now, it seems to be a good thing to be doing right now. Now let's get back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's currently trading at 100,400. I think I'm about to end the live stream here soon. But yeah, let's see. Bitcoin, how low did you get today, Bitcoin? 100,000, 199. No, we're still above that psychological number there. Still above it, yeah. But yeah, let me get rid of this for now. I'm using the VRVP to figure out where the support levels might be for Bitcoin at this point. And we do have a high volume node below us at like 96,000, 97,000. I think that's, if we lose 100,000, I mean, that's only $3,000 away, but still, you would think we should get some support at $97,000 here for Bitcoin. That could happen later on tonight, going into tomorrow. And if we get a good jobs report, I mean, it's going to make people feel better about us not going into a recession, but it's not going to be good for interest rate cuts. And Bitcoin could still go down if we have a good jobs report tomorrow. So we're expecting $97,000 to come up on deck if we lose 100K psychological level here. And then, of course, we'll see how we handle ourselves. If we lose 97,000, there's some more support here at 93,000. And this is basically everybody that bought here in April and May. They bought at like $93,000, $94,000. If they start sweating bullets, if they start getting worried about the price of Bitcoin going low prices here, then we're going to drop down further. And we got like 88K coming up after that. I need some more volume here at 84K. And yeah, you can say we're finally in the bear market. It's crazy how fast these things can happen here. Like, remember like back in like what? It was only a month ago. October 6th, not even a month ago. Everybody was celebrating Bitcoin at 126K, and now look at us now, 100K. But when we were at 126K, I was putting out a warning not to buy Bitcoin at that price. Okay, I said if you want to buy Bitcoin, wait until 100K or 103, 104K, and here we are now. Better time to buy Bitcoin. So if you're trying to buy Bitcoin at cheaper prices, you're definitely getting it right now. But if you've been in it for a while, I mean, you had your chance to take profits the last few months and weeks here. And yeah, I identified here on the charts, some people were in denial, I would say. But I wasn't in denial. I did not like the fact that we're making a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. We're doing a head and shoulder pattern. Okay, and the head and shoulder pattern, right? If this is a head and shoulder pattern, measuring down from the head, top of the head to the neckline here, and taking this move down to the move to the neckline, it shows that we could see $92,000 Bitcoin if this head and shoulder pattern plays out, and it is kind of playing out right now. Doesn't mean it has to fully play out, but that blue number there, 92K, 92, 93, 94, somewhere in the 90s is where Bitcoin could go if we're not going to stay above 100K, obviously. So we shall see. Are you guys going to defend Bitcoin? Are you guys buying Bitcoin right now? Are you guys buying crypto? Put that in the comments right now. If you're watching this, my guys in live chat, put it right now in the live chat if you're actually buying crypto today, or are you waiting for like lower prices? Laureen says not yet. Mose is asking about new all-time high. I'm trying to be, bullish about Bitcoin going to new all-time highs. The fact that you lost the 2-day moving average, you did a head and shoulder pattern. It looks like Bitcoin wants to go to lower prices here. Going to the weekly time frame, you got the 50-day moving average below you at 82K. Ugh. 3-day chart, you have the 100-day moving average, the blue line sitting at 94K, 95K. Like, we need to stay above 100K. I think a lot of people are like ready to push the sell button as soon as it gets to 100K, because it's like a psychological number for most people here. But yeah, we need to see a green day. We need to see more green. We need to see price go up. Obviously, I will not I will not start talking about new all-time highs for Bitcoin again until we get up to that 2-day moving average, sitting at 109K. If we can get up to like 109, 110K, then I would say, okay, maybe that was the worst of it, and we can start heading back up to 126K or higher. Right now, it's scary out there. I get it. I totally understand. Did I see what, Lorraine? Waza says every second is worse than the second before. It seems like that. Yeah, it's getting very scary out there. And somebody was asking about Jasmy. What's my opinion on Jasmy? I'll take a look at it real quick, but then I'm going to end this live stream soon because we've been live for almost 2 hours now. Alright. Oh, Jasmy. Oh, my opinion on Jasmy is that you're bearish on Jasmy. You have to be bearish. You cannot be bullish on this thing until it gets up to that 2-day moving average at 14.5 cents. But if you buy now in hopes of getting up to 14.5 cents, that's like, I mean, you're going to make some money, obviously, getting back up to that 2-day moving average. You'll probably make a 77% gain right there. But Jasmy looks like it's revisiting the lows from back here in April, when we had, you know, the tariff scare and Liberation Day. This thing was at 823. Right now you're at 827. So you're at the lows for the year for Jasmy. And this is actually retesting the highs from 2023, or resistance at 2023, February 2023. You're at the same price as you were back in February of 2023. Yikes. It's like these last 2 years didn't even matter. But Jasmy, I mean, this could be a very interesting long if things turn around here, because you're at the lows for the year. How much lower could you go lower if you're at the lows for the year? You just put your stop loss at like 800 or 790. It's a really tight stop loss, and you're hoping to get back up to higher prices here. But I mean, the way things have been going on Jasmy is that the 21 EMA, this white line, has been acting as resistance. You might just get right back up to that white line again at 1 penny, and that's all you're gonna get for your upside on Jasmy. So it might be something like this, where this is as much as you're gonna get, a 22% gain. Still pretty good for a lot of people out there. But that 21 EMA is acting like a bully right now, and you're still in the downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows. I think it's worth taking a long here and putting a tight stop loss and just trying to get back up to that 21 EMA if you're day trading it, and if you're swing trading it, trying to get back up to the 2-day moving average if you're going to do a swing trade here. Oh, Hulksmash still in the chat here. Hulksmash says he bought a little bit. Yeah, I mean, today's a good day if you have a long-term view on the markets here. Today is a good day to be buying anything at this point. Doesn't matter if you're buying crypto. You could be buying gold and silver, and you're doing better than trying to buy it yesterday. So, yeah. We'll see if we get the bounce. I think tomorrow, very important to see that ADP jobs report, 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. That might be the thing that saves us from going to lower prices here. But between now and tomorrow morning, it's anybody's guess. You know, Bitcoin could lose 100K, like it's literally threatening to do right now. Okay. But it might be temporary going into tomorrow. That's why I'm not doing any trades at this moment, except for like maybe shorting. But at this moment right now, like I got stopped out of all my longs that I was trying to get into. I might, you know, if Bitcoin goes to like 97K, I might throw my hat in the ring and try to go long on Bitcoin later on tonight, in hopes of a good jobs report that sends us up to higher prices tomorrow. So I think that's the game plan for me. Not financial advice for you guys, but I think if we are going to get lower prices later on tonight, I would try to at least try to buy something, with the hopes that tomorrow morning will be better. And then we'll just take it one day at a time there, guys. Okay? But yeah, that's going to be it for this live stream. I will see you tomorrow, same time. I'll try to do a video for Hulk Smash about the Coinbase derivatives if I can. Try to see if I can work on that right now after I get done with this live stream. Okay, Hulk Smash, and then I'll tag you it. I'll send it to the Discord so you can check it out. All right. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today. I will see you tomorrow, same time. Take care, guys. Guys, it looks like we're about to lose $100,000 right now on Bitcoin. Let me go back into the screen here. Oh boy. Look at this. As I'm trying to end the live stream. Still playing games here. We got down to $100,020. $20 shy of hitting 100K on Bitcoin. Oh boy, but now we're getting a little bit of bounce back. Alright guys, let me end this stream here. There it is, guys. $99,000 Bitcoin. You just saw that just now. Yikes.